Welcome back to another episode. My name is Brian, and I am the Unskilled Commander. So this is match 2 of these 4 decks. My Unblockables, Mill, Cascade, and Legendaries. You may remember from match 1, Bruvac, the Mill deck over here, won easily, well not easily, but it won, milling everybody out at the last second, and gave us our quickest Unskilled Commander video yet at 54 minutes. We're going to see if he can pull it off again, especially because Mill is going first this game. So we're going to start things off with an island for turn. Drawing first because that's important. Then you play an island for turn. And we're going to pass. Over here, you draw for turn. Frontier, Bivouac. Comes in taps for one of any of my commander's colors, green, red, or blue. We're going to go ahead and pass turn. Draw a card. Arcane Sanctum. Comes in tapped, goes for white, blue, or black. Passing turn to our Unblockables. Draw. We're going to play an Evolving Wilds. And I'm going to change it up and play it on the right time. So we're going to go ahead and pass. Air quotes because I personally don't care. I don't think it matters all that much most times when you crack an Evolving Wilds or Terramorphic Expanse or any of those. They're coming in tapped anyway. I mean, yes, do it on that end step. It comes in tapped and then it immediately untaps. But you still don't get it until next turn. So what's the difference? I guess you can argue for land destruction or whatever, but it's like, come on. So we draw a card for turn, play a snow-covered island, tapping both for Grind Clock. Tap Grind Clock to put a charge counter on it, then you can tap it, well, not at the same time, or you can tap it, and target player puts the top X cards of their library into the graveyard where X is the number of charge counters on Grind Clock. Gonna go ahead and pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw. Going to play an island for turn. Tap the island and Frontier for green to play Leaf Gilder. A little bit of mana ramp going on there, so we're going to go ahead and pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw. I'm going to go ahead and play this what I just drew, which is a Nomad Outpost. Also comes in tapped, red, white, or black. I like to play the tap lands as early as possible because, idealistically speaking, you and your opponents aren't going to be doing too much on turns 1, 2, and 3. So having them come in tapped on the first 2 turns, who cares? Now, obviously, depending on your deck and your play group, that's not a good idea. And to be honest, with my play group, that's not really a good idea either. But I like the lands that tap for 3 colors, even though they come in tapped. They're not the triomes or whatever, but they're pretty much the same thing. It's like, what's the problem? I like it. It gives me more options when they are untapped. So, at that end step, we're going to crack Evolving Wilds and get an island on the battlefield tapped. We're going to shuffle up super quick, just one shuffle. Try not to spill the deck everywhere. And then untap, upkeep, draw, play a forest for turn. Guess what? I don't have a 2-drop that is relevant, so yeah. The Evolving Wilds on the end step wasn't really that big of a game changer, but still, I get it. Try and, play things at the proper times. It's good to get in that habit, and it's good to show you guys that, how technically you're supposed to do it for optimal usage, I guess. I don't know. Pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw. Snow-covered island for turn. And we're going to tap and bring in Bruvac. Then I'm going to tap Grind Clock to put a charge counter on it. We're going to use one of my cool Spider-Man dice, and we're going to go ahead and put the 1 on there. Trying to set things up for the future. Now that makes Grind Clock a nice target for if anyone gets artifact removal, which I think one of those hands already does have. So we're going to pass. Come on over to Chaos Bloom, Averna. Untap, upkeep, draw. Play Is It Guildgate, comes in tapped. Then I'm going to tap for blue, tap the Frontier for red, and tap Leaf Gilder for green to play Averna. A 4-2 commander on turn 3, not too shabby, and hopefully if I can get some cascading going, it'll be even better. Assuming I actually get to see some lands when cascading and take advantage of her pseudo ramp effect. I call it a her, I don't know if it really is. You can tell me in the comments or whatnot, depending on the magic lore. I'm not huge on magic lore, so I don't really care. But still, pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw. We're going to play an island, tapping all 3 for Chromatic Lantern. Pass turn. We are leaving ourselves wide open on multiple decks here right now, but let's see if we can change that. Untap, upkeep, draw. Well, the smart move is to go ahead and play the swamp. Tap all 3 for Ukima, Stalking Shadow. If you'll remember from the first game, this deck's designed to just play lots of unblockable small creatures, getting out Kazur for his ability that whenever a creature does combat damage to a player, they get a +1/+1 counter. So yes, commander damage is great in this deck, but I didn't build it around it. It's not designed to be like the whole Voltron thing where you get a bunch of stuff on Ukima and swing in. It's more about a board state of all kinds of little unblockables that slowly get bigger as you progress until suddenly someone's like, oh wait, that's 5/5/5s. Where'd those come from? You know, and then you can swing and take out a player at that point. But we're going to go ahead and pass over here to the mill deck. Bruvac, of course, does say that whenever an opponent would mill a card, they mill twice that many cards. I'm going to play the snow-covered island I just drew. And I'm not sure what the best move is. Let's see. Who is, deck-wise, an important threat? They're kind of all equally scary in their own rights. Clearly, this deck is going to have a lot of small, unblockable creatures that could be a problem. That deck is supposed to have a lot of legendary creatures, all commander-level creatures that can, have some synergy with each other, but basically just have really cool powers that are going to do lots of crazy things. Over here, we've got a lot of Cascade, hopefully, in the deck, we would assume, off the commander, which would mean there's going to be a lot of Cascade effects trying to get out big creatures. So who do we want to mill single target out of all this? Who would you guys mill first in some situation like this? I'm going to go ahead and tap 4 to play Startled Awake. Target opponent puts the top 13 cards of their library into their graveyard. Now, with Bruvac out, that doubles to 26. Who do I want to hit for a very large chunk, essentially a quarter, slightly over a quarter of their deck? Who would that hurt the most? I want to say these two would be the most impacted. Because at a quarter of the deck, that's going to be a lot of the Cascade effects, theoretically, and or big creatures that would then neuter that. Over here, could also get a lot of good legendaries out of the way. We'll go with Cascade, just to make a decision and keep the ball rolling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Ouch. Look at all those cards. That is not good for you. You know what? I think Bruvac should be a little aggressive. Because, let's face it, I'm not going to block with Bruvac. So at this point, I'm essentially shields down anyway. So I'm going to swing Bruvac at you. Since I couldn't decide between the two of you, you'll take a damage, you'll take the mill. The mill hurts a heck of a lot more than 1 damage, but it is commander. So we're going to go ahead and drop you down to 39. And you've got 1 commander damage. Probably not going to matter, but we'll see with this game. passing turn over to the now very ticked off Cascade Commander. You're gonna pay for that, boy. Draw a card. We're gonna play another island for turn. I'm gonna tap 2 for a Thought Vessel, and then tap 1, 2, 3 for a Farhaven Elf. Search for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield tapped. We'll go with the first basic. Well, okay, we'll go with a, you know what? This deck probably would prefer a forest, because pretty much as I said in one of the other videos, if you've got green in the deck, you're probably going to want your forests to be the go-tos, because normally you're going to have either ramp or other stuff like that, big creature, something. You're probably going to be leaning towards more green spells. Now, you done hit me, so absolutely Averna is going at you for 4 commander damage, dropping you down to 36. And Averna is definitely not going to be looking at anyone else anytime soon unless something crazy goes on. So we're going to go ahead and pass. Untap, upkeep, draw. Playing Swamp for turn. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, still not enough. But 5, this one could help. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Wandering Archaic. Now, tricky part, because I'm playing all 4 decks, I have to try and remember this is actually on the field and that it affects me. He's a 4/4 that says whenever an opponent casts an instant or sorcery spell, they may pay 2. If they don't, I get to copy that spell and choose new targets for it. So we're going to have to try and keep aware of that. Pass turn. We're going to upkeep, untap, upkeep, draw. Going to play Karn's Bastion, which is good because it's got the proliferate trigger on there. Pay 4 and tap it to proliferate. If I can get a couple creatures out and get them some counters, then they can start going up even faster. So to that end, we're going to tap all 4 for Kazor. Now, once again, see, it does feel bad because it's like, after that show of 26 cards milled right off the word go, basically, you'd be kind of stupid to not attack him right now unless somebody else got bigger. So Ukima is going to go ahead and tap and send 2 commander damage that way. We'll get a blue dice for Ukima. So 2 from over here down to 34. Now, if you remember, this is what happened last time. And being on this side of it, I'm starting to understand and learning, and that's part of what this series is about. Not just playing Magic and being silly and whatever. It's meant to help me learn and be a better Magic player. That's the main purpose of this. Now, I used to get upset because my Toxtrol deck and Bruvac, a lot of my decks get me killed fast, and it's like, they didn't even do anything yet. I kind of see it now. But even Toxtrol, it's like a 7-drop. It takes forever to come out. That's not fair. I play it once and it's like immediately destroyed or I countered or something. I don't get to play Magic. But being on that side of it, it didn't win, but it still affected the board pretty quick if not taken out. So I kind of see it now. I have to rope it in now when I'm playing these decks, certain decks, to not get salty, as they say, and not get upset and be like, why are you guys always killing me? It's like, 26 cards into a graveyard on like turn 3 or 4, kind of a reason, I guess. Meanwhile, back at the ocean or wherever this whale wolf comes from, he did combat damage, so he's going to get a +1/+1 counter thanks to Kazor. We're going to pass turn. So Bruvac is getting hit from all over the place, but a 4 damage commander is a lot more important than a 2 or even a 3 right now. So we're going to go ahead and play a Snow-Covered Island for turn. Interesting. Oh, that sounds like a good play. We're going to tap 1, 2, 3, 4. And you know what? I should have tapped that on my last turn. I did not, so that was a misplay. Misplay a clock. We're going to play a Gilded Lotus. So I don't do it again, we're going to tap this to put a counter on it. And then I'm going to tap for 3 blue mana to play Gale Strike. Well, no. Once again, got to play things right. It is an instant. I should wait. So, in that point, I play the Gilded Lotus. I tap that for a thing. Nobody's open anymore. I'm going to go ahead and pass. Come over here. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 available mana. And you know what? We're going to play this because I believe you guys saw this last game. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 green and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Annoyed Altasar. I do kind of hate it when you see the same cards over and over again. I've got 99 in here. I'd like to see some of the other ones. But let's be honest. That's a good one to play, especially right now. So, Reach, Trample, 6/5. Really impressive by itself, but it's got Cascade. So, we're going to go ahead and reveal cards until we get a 6-drop non-land permanent. Tap. Unbelievable. Now, the good thing is this also has Cascade, which is part of how the deck is supposed to work. But, if you recognize our commander, it says, as you Cascade, put a land card from among the exiled cards onto the battlefield. It's supposed to help ramp this deck. I have yet to see it really do that more than like once or twice. So, going on the stack, we see Emoti, Celebrant of Bounty. We're going to cast said creature. It's a 3/1. But it also has Cascade. So we're going to look for something that is a 4-drop or less. Okay, that is not a 4-drop. Haha, a land, thank goodness. So we'll set that to the side for a second. 5-drop. 5-drop, 1-drop, until you exile a non-land card to cost less. So it's not permanent. My apologies when I said that. It's just a card. So, reading the effects, you do this after the last card is exiled, but before deciding whether to cast the non-land card. So I will play this on the battlefield tapped. Then I will go ahead and cast Preordain, which is scry 2, then draw a card. I actually do need some lands, and a mountain would not be bad, so I'm going to go ahead and draw that card. Put this on the bottom. Well, scrying, put it on the bottom, then drawing the mountain. And then these, put these exiled cards in the bottom of your library in a random order. Look, that's random. So I'm going to put that in my hand, and then everything resolves. Now, Emoti says, spells you cast with converted mana cost 6 or greater have Cascade. So that's a nice trigger for all the big spells in here. Like, well, would have been nice for him, but, well, he already has Cascade. Sorry. But you get the idea. So now, we're going to go to combat. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Did I try and play that last turn for real, or did I, do it within the confines of playing the match in my head, so to speak? Most likely, I probably would have started to... Well, no, I can tell you one thing. I would have played that and been like, oh, I guess I should wait until you go to attack, but who cares? I'm going to do it anyway. But I stopped it because of learning. So we're going to pretend it didn't happen, that I showed the table. Averna's going to go to attack. In response, I'm going to tap for 3 blue mana and play Gale Strike. Return target tapped creature to its owner's hand. See, it wouldn't have worked. It had to be tapped anyway. Once again, reading cards all the way through before you play them. Another problem for the Unskilled Commander. I assume too much. I assume I know what the card does, and then I miss little bits that are actually important. So this gets bounced to its owner's hand. So no commander tax on it, which is not great, but whatever. And that eye gets to draw a card, which was an island. Okay, that's all Cascade can do for right now. Not too bad. We're gonna pass turn. Draw a card, please be a land. It is not. I kind of wanted a land. So we're going to tap. Oh, I can't. Yes, they all can tap for anything. So we're gonna tap that, whatever, for green to play Adventurous Impulse. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. You reveal a creature or land card from among them. Put them in your hand. Put the rest in the bottom. 1, 2, 3. I really need, well, let's stop and think for a second. Flying is excellent. Death Touch, Lifelink, and other legendaries get +2/+2. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty important for this deck. And Drana deals combat damage to, or when she deals it, put a +1/+1 counter on each attacking creature. And I do need a land so I can get him out so I can start doing... I would like to hold off on playing colored creatures until he is out, Ramos, Dragon Engine, so I can take advantage of his abilities and his pluses and stuff. But to throw away a really good command or creature would be kind of stupid. So we're gonna put these on the bottom. Put this into my hand. Oops. And then what else can we play? Well, I can play this, so that's not so bad. And it is kind of technically a land. You'll see what I mean in a second. 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the proper colors, because Chromatic Lantern means all my lands tap for any color. Here we go. Let's try and pronounce this one. Eric Smith's Slumbering Isle. It's a 12/12, but not yet. Eric Smith's Slumbering Isle enters the battlefield tapped with 5 slumber counters on it. 5 slumber counters. As long as it's slumber counter on it, it's a land. Whenever you cast a spell, you may remove a slumber counter on it, and when it becomes a land on my next turn, it'll tap for a green and a blue. So that is pretty nice, pseudo ramp, and then it becomes a really big creature. Especially if I can play like a lot of little spells or something. Well, you look at that. See, what I tell you? We forgot about this. Twice now, actually. So they may pay 2. I don't believe the entire effect is yep. You may copy that spell. So, you know what? Misplay a clock. I missed it. 2 instances of it too that could have helped this deck, but I missed it. So for those of you that aren't entirely sure, again, he says that whenever an opponent casts an instant or sorcery spell, they have to pay 2. If they don't, I copy the spell. I could have copied not only Gale Strike, but Preordained, and drew a card, and bounced a creature to somebody's hand if I wanted to, which would have at least made them recast something and spend mana that they weren't expecting. So that could have really helped out this deck, that it's currently only with like 1 little blocker. So, but that one I don't, let's be honest. While that is a misplay, I am playing 4 decks, and again, I told you, it is hard to remember what's in my hands and all the effects and stuff like that. But then again, that does mirror actual Commander, because 4 players is one thing, but especially if you start to go in 5 and 6 players, which I don't recommend, it's hard to see and know what is on everyone's field. It's hard to remember what all these creatures' effects are, or their creatures, or that, the artifacts, what do they all do? You got to keep asking your friends, be like, what does that do again? What's that? Because that, if you forget something, it's easy to swing into somebody and be like, oh yeah, I have this thing on the field that I can just destroy your creatures. Oh, I forgot about that. Happens all the time. And not just to me, but mainly me. Pass turn, untap, upkeep, and draw. I'm going to tap 2 to foretell a card, and then tap 2 to play a Suspicious Bookcase. It's a 0/4 defender, not bad, but I can pay 3, tap it to target creature can't be blocked this turn. So I could then make Kazor unblockable, and he can start getting counters as well. But we do know where this is going. Ukima is going over there for 3 damage, up to 5 commander from there, and down to 31 life. And it's going to get another counter because it did combat damage. Pass turn. Okay, Mill. You came out of the deck swinging, the gate swinging, but you need some more actual mill spells. Alright, well that's just a land. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Now then, we hit the same quandary where it's like, well, okay. Let's do this then. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bond of Insight. Each player puts the top 4 cards of their library into the graveyard, and I get to return up to 2 instants and/or sorcery cards from my graveyard to my hand, exiling Bond of Insight. So that's everybody. So everyone is about to mill 8 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now everyone's going to do this, and then I get to draw or get 2 of the spells back, but let's see what they are first. A lot of counter spells and a lot of land, not super helpful. Oh, well, yeah. I guess it's kind of a no-brainer. I'll return Gale Strike and Startled Awake to my hand and mill somebody else for 26 cards again. Kind of a duh. So over here, we're going to mill 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And finally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I probably should go through the graveyards and show you guys, and you can get a feel for what's possible interactions and whatnot. But that's just going to add tons more time to these games, so that's not the kind of thing I'm going to bother doing at this point. But that is all that Bruvac can do right now, except, yes, tapping this to put a charge counter on it. And I do still have 5 mana, so what can I do? Actually, you are exactly right, dear viewers. I could tap for 3 blue mana and tap another for 4 to play Startled Awake. Another 26 cards into a graveyard. Now, again, playstyle question. Do I slam Averna again? Or do I hit somebody else? Unblockable is hitting me too. It's getting bigger. And we have a Gale Strike, although I can't do the Gale Strike on my next turn because I've tapped out, or almost tapped out rather. Now, the smart thing with mill is to focus on one person, I believe, instead of trying to spread the love, as it were. So, I guess for simplicity's sake, we'll go ahead and fire that off over here one more time. So, it was 26, correct? Yes, top 13 doubled. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 26. All right. This is the deck that's left, so certainly not going to die anytime soon from decking myself out, but it's there. We're going to pass turn. So untap, upkeep, draw. As I said, the good thing is I'm going to play this mountain for turn. At least Averna's in my hand, so it doesn't cost a ton to play. So we'll do that, and 1 island to recast Averna, leaving me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana to play with. Huh. Yeah. Why not, huh? So we're going to try that. Ooh, can we? I cannot. Darn it. Don't have the exact... I have enough mana. I don't have the right colors of mana. So we're going to tap... Nope, I do. Gosh darn it. 2 blue. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. To play Sakashima's Protege. It's 3/1 with flash. As Sakashima's Protege enters, it enters as a copy of the permanent that entered the battlefield this turn. Interesting. That won't... See, I was hoping it would get a double trigger right now, but see, these things matter with cast and battlefield. On cast, it cascades. So when it enters the battlefield, when it actually resolves and hit the field, that's when it becomes a copy of Averna. So it won't give me a second trigger for lands until I cast another Cascade creature, but that's fine. So on the cast, we're looking for anything that is a 5-drop or less. 1, 4, 5, 6, nope. Well, unfortunately, again, no freaking lands. Although deck thinking on here, who knows, maybe that's not a good thing. So alright, so now we are casting Cloudkin Seer for 3. It's a 2/1 flyer, not bad. And when it enters the battlefield, we draw a card. Cool, draw a card, it's a land, alright. So that resolves. Then Sakashima's protege enters the battlefield and becomes a copy of Averna. We're going to kind of do like a little stack thing here, so that we know there's 2 of them essentially. So now they're both 4/2s. Oh, wait a second. Once again, thinking. We cannot do that because it had the legendary rule. It would kill one of the Avernas. So we have to choose something different. So we're going to obviously choose Anointed Allosaur as the target. So that's good, so it doesn't matter about the casting because it wouldn't have helped no matter when it entered the battlefield. But still, now we have 2 6/5s with trample and reach. So that's certainly not bad. And to that end, we're going to go ahead and swing a 6 at you because what the heck, dude? My entire deck is in my graveyard because you! Well, I mean, actually, that's the point of my deck, so yes, I'll take 6. Down 1, so 25. And then that's going to be 6 more commander damage, up to 12, getting dangerously close on commander damage as well. Or no, it isn't. What am I saying? Duh. Stupid. Stop being stupid. But alright, these are tapped. Well, I guess it doesn't matter, because like I said, I want to keep that there so we know that's another Allosaur, or Alistar, or whatever I'm going to call that thing. These crazy names. Pass turn. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. Well, we're going to play a mountain for turn. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, might as well. Well, 6, 7, 8 technically, yes. So we'll tap all of that to play Ramos, Dragon's Engine. Oh my gosh, again, did I miss? I did, totally missed. Ah! That's upsetting, guys. Super upsetting. Live and don't learn, as I apparently do. Don't learn from your mistakes, guys. Just make them over and over again. That's how you stay stagnant in Magic and life. But it's okay. It's okay. The only real way to make sure I didn't do something like that is if I went a lot slower. I would have to be like, I'm going to do this. Look at the field. Oh, okay, I can play this. I'm going to play this. Look at the field. Oh, that's right. Wandering. Okay. It's like, I don't want these videos to be 3 hours long, for crying out loud. No one's going to watch that. I don't want to watch that. And we're probably already ticking close to an hour. Who knows? It's hard to decide. It's hard to tell with these things. Oops, wrong deck. So we did that. We cast it. Whatever. Pass turn. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. Play a Reliquary Tower. Then we're going to tap. Well, what do we got? Yes. Probably not an issue right now. Ooh, yeah, well, I'm probably not going to remember it. But it's fun. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 for Reservoir Kraken. I like this card. I even got a couple of the tokens for it. So it is a 6/6 trample with Ward 2. And then at the beginning of each combat, if Reservoir Kraken is untapped, any opponent may tap an untapped creature they control. And if they do, I make a 1/1 fish that is unblockable. It's the whole thing. So I'm going to move to combat. I'm going to ask, but no one would be dumb enough. Like, he can't attack. There's no haste. There's no reason to tap him down. No. Okay, cool. We're going to go to combat, swinging a 4/4 at you. So you're going to take another 4 damage, up to 9, and then down to 21. And this is going to get another counter. Oh, that's right. I forgot about my Foretold card. But that's all right. We still need some more land. We need, see, I don't like it when I don't have artifacts at this point in the game that help with mana. Because at that point, as long as I had like one or two, I could be like, yes, I will also do my, Foretold card. Or maybe I could even play one of the 3-drop unblockable creatures I have in my hand. I'm trying to do other stuff right now. So, whatever. We're going to pass turn. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. Play another island, because that's all I'm getting from this deck right now. So, I guess we'll tap 2 to play Compelling Argument. Target player puts the top 5 cards of his or her library jeez, into the graveyard, which now, of course, doubles to 10. And I do remember about that, so hang on. Well, okay. So, in response, hey, Archaic is here this whole time. Do you want to pay 2 or let me copy it? Well, yeah, I don't care. I'm going to go ahead and pay 2. So, no, you can't copy it. So, you mill 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Definitely getting dangerously low. And at this point, we're going to go ahead and tap this to make you mill 6 because it's got 3 counters, doubled to 6. Because it's getting real close here to here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 3 cards left. That is not good for Yawn Cascade. Now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could do something else. Oh, well, you know what? Yeah, that's a great strategy right there. We're going to tap for 3. 3 blue. And then another 3 for the X to play Drown in Dreams. I control my commander, so I get to do both. Target player, me, draws 3 cards. And target player, you, mills twice 3 cards, which is 6, which is 12 because my commander's out. Well, you know what? That's a dumb idea, isn't it? Why waste that much of a power hit when he's only got 3 cards left? Yes, it would kill him, but I really don't think... Well, he's got 2 Allosaurs, and I only have 1 blocker, so that's automatically 12 damage. And then 4 from his commander would be 12 and 4, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, he actually, even if I blocked... this guy or something, which would actually kill it, and Brewback would survive. That's 6, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So I kind of have to do that, even though it is a waste of a big spell. If I want to survive, I got to hit you for 12 mil. Nothing I can do. I got 3. You get it. I say, cool, pass turn. I go, I don't have a card to draw. Boom, I'm dead. With 40 life, no less. Crazy. Boom, damn, dead. I'll get you next time, Gadget. Next time! So, the past turn comes swinging over to here. Now everyone's like, whoa, did you just see what Brewback did? Guy's messed up in the head. So, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stupid freaking, I forgot about that. So we'll say that's down to 3. See, triggers, people, triggers! They are super important. And yet, for some reason, I can't seem to do them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 mana to play with. Okay, that'll work. We're going to, since everything, these ones at least, tap for whatever color I want. we're going to tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Arvid the Cursed, which we saw from that earlier spell I cast. He's got a black and a white in his color scheme there, so that puts 2 counters, on Ramos, which is cool. He's got Death Touch, Lifelink. Now all the other legendary creatures on the, well, not yet, but all the creatures on the field get +2/+2. So I'm going to tap for 1, and then green and blue, so for 3 total, for Pulse of Marasa, which is a color green in its spell, so we're going to give that a +1. Return target creature or land card from the graveyard to its owner's hand. I gain 6 life. So that makes us up to 45. Pretty solid. And then what do we want to get? We got some, Temple of False Gods, not bad. Let's see, in terms of creatures, we only have Combo, which is a good creature. It's a good one to play. 2/3, whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, they lose 2 life and you gain 2 life. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, I think we're going to have to just do that, most likely, because, Bruvac is all about casting spells, so we could, and he's down 21, we could make him kill himself just by casting spells to mill us. Regrettably, that says to my owner's hand, it does not go into battlefield, so it will take me until next turn to cast it. But Ramos has been on the battlefield, has he not? And he is currently a 7/7 flyer. Yeah. Guess what? We don't like this mill shenanigans. We're going to go ahead and smack you in the face for 7. Down to 14. Now, we are going to need to worry about the unblockables over here, but not quite yet. Passing turn. We still have a bit of a common enemy right now. Maybe. We'll see. So now this is going to come into play. We're going to draw a card per turn. We're going to play that card, which is a forest. I'm going to pay a blue and 1 other to play my Foretold card, which is Behold the Multiverse. Scry 2, then draw 2 cards. 1, 2, probably not important right now. Just a land and a mana rock. I know I complained about mana rocks a second ago, but at this point, with that out of the way, now there's less players, I really want to start getting unblockable creatures out. So, and then I draw 2 cards, correct? Which I didn't do yet. So 1, 2. See, now that paid dividends. What in the slag? I don't believe it. Wow, that does suck. Okay, that's kind of BS. I have a ton of blue creatures in my hand that are unblockable, and I only have 1 blue mana. I didn't realize that. So I can't even play them. And I got a 1-drop blue. I could have played like, oh yeah, I got 4 mana. I'm like, I can play 2 of these creatures that are unblockable. Nope. Alright, well, what we are going to do is we're going to tap 3 and tap Suspicious Bookcase to make Kazor unblockable. We're going to move to combat. Yo, Bruvac, do you want to tap down an untapped creature? Or let me have a 6/6 with trample? Gosh. Yeah, I guess I'll tap down because I'm not going to block with Bruvac. So that's going to tap that down, and that's going to make a wee fish. Blub, blub. So, okay, we're going to combat. Swinging in. 5 and 3 is 8 on your 14. So that's going to be down to 6. 8 damage down to 6. We can take care of this. We can do, that's no longer important. 9 plus 5 is 14. I mean, it's probably going to be, I don't think it's going to matter because he can finish the job. So, this is going to go up, and this is now going to get a counter. Cool, cool. And I have a little fish guy to block with, which, I mean, certainly isn't going to do much. We're going to pass turn. All right, not looking too good, Bruvac. You had your day in the sun with the first matchup. I don't think you're going to survive this. We're going to play a land for turn, draw first, then play a land for turn. We're going to tap this for 3 blue mana to play Sphinx's Tutelage. Whenever I draw a card, target opponent puts the top 2 cards of the library into the graveyard. If they're both non-land cards that share a color, repeat this process. A fun thing to do with this deck. There's a couple cards that can enhance that aspect. So we're going to go ahead and pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to draw a card, then discard a card. I will discard this. No, that would be stupid. I'm going to discard this. So, I drew a card. Target opponent. Well, you're going to kill me on my turn, clearly. So this will be a politic moment. It'd be like, hey, if you don't do it, I'll mill him instead. And you could be like, well, because he's going to die. I'm going to die. Both of these guys are going to attack. I have no way to stop that. It's just, who do I mill and give the advantage to for someone else? Basically, he has been smacking me the most. So I'm going to mill over here. So target player mills 2 cards. But with my commander out, that's 4 cards. If any 2 of them share a type, they're both, so if 2 of them share a color, you do it again. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, look at that. None of them share because it's a blue and a green and a colorless, and lands are colorless. So lucked out there. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and tap 2, even though I don't care about the instant timing of it. We're going to return tapped target creature to its owner's hand, and I draw a card. So guess what? This is going back. Boom, you're losing all those counters. Going to get an extra 2 to cast it next turn, and I'm going to draw a card. Bam, an island. It's not going to help me. But guess what? You're doing it again. You're going to mill 4, and if any 2 of them match, do it again. So we get a green. Nope, whiff. Swinging and it'll miss again. But took out 8 cards, not bad. All right, man, I'm going to go ahead and pass turn. Nothing I can do. Oh, that's an enchantment, not a creature. Untap. I think that's probably right. It might be down 1. I don't know. You guys can... I'm sure you noticed by now. Uh-oh. Wah, wah. Oh, that's... Yeah, commander damage. I was like, I didn't remember what that was. That's commander damage from him. Unimportant. We're going to draw a card. Oh, this is untapped. That could be very fun. We're going to do that, gang. We're going to go ahead and tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, floating 1 to play Elbrus, the Binding Blade for 7, and then paying that floating 1 to equip it to Ramos the Dragon Engine. Now it's colorless, so it doesn't buff up his numbers, but that's okay because that's not why I did it. The blade says equipped creature gets +1/+0. Meh, for 7, that's nothing. But if the equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, unattach Elbrus the Binding Blade and then transform it. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna go ahead and move to combat. Oh, I see him again. I missed all that, but it's fine. Flying in the air, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, commander coming at you because he's kind of irrelevant. And you could not come back at me, but you've got unblockable things that should be able to take him out. Interesting. We should probably, because at that point, I could swing these over there, but that'd be, no, we're just doing it. We're doing it. It makes sense. Swinging over here for 10 in the air, you can't stop it. You don't have any flyers. Going down to 30 life and getting 10 commander damage already. That's huge. I am now a major threat. But I just dealt combat damage to a player. So boom, this unattaches, unequips, and flips to become Within Guard Unbound, a 3/3 flying, intimidate, trample. Whenever a player loses the game, which is going to happen soon unless you decide not to, put 13 +1/+1 counters on Unbound. Boosha. That's a big play right there. So see, it was in my interest to not swing those and kill him first because you want that to be on the field before he dies. So cool, pass turn. Oh great, what am I supposed to do now? Untap, upkeep, draw. Unblockable had a real shot at this for a second, and now it's like, what do I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I didn't need to discard down or anything before because I just drew the 8th card. If I kill him, which is still a smart move, that thing becomes a 26/26 with trample and flying. Like, I mean, 2 flyers, I'm dead on deck next turn with no flying blocking. So what kind of lands do I have? Well, I'm going to play Morphic Pool because it comes in tapped unless you have 2 or more players or opponents, which I still currently do. So he does untap. So that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to play with, 2 of which is blue. But really, at this point, what's even going to help? Okay. Well, that's going to help. Sort of. Is it? Nope, it's a creature, dang it. See, I guess I probably, again, misplay a clock, guys. Wow, this is a really bad game. I am really screwing up this game. That is not fun. I don't appreciate that. Because I believe I had enough open mana to play Return to Nature an instant. I could have blown up the blade before it actually dealt combat damage and stopped that stupid giant demon from being on the battlefield. But that was this hand. I was over there all excited that I got to equip it. I totally forgot to take into consideration what the other players could have done. So that's on me, and that's going to be probably going to give Legendary the game, quite honestly. Okay, well, maybe not. Let's see if this works. We're going to tap 1, 2, 3 to play Frost Breath. We're going to tap up to 2 target creatures. Bam, bam. Those creatures do not untap during their controller's next untap step. So that does buy me a little time. And leaves me with 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. We're going to tap that for blue to play Slitherblade. And I still leaves me with 3 mana. Ooh, yes. Let's try and remember stuff now. That's an instant. So do I want to pay 2 and let him copy it, which would mean tapping down some of my creatures? And guess what, the smart move would be to tap down these 2, wouldn't it? Because then I wouldn't have to create another fish, because it would already be tapped when I went to battle. Well, I'd have to pay for that, so that's fine. But yes, I'd pay to stop that from happening. Is that the only one I did? Yes. All right. So, moving to combat. Hey, do you want to tap down my Kraken? Because otherwise, guess where it's coming. Though I guess I wouldn't say that, of course. But do you want to tap down my Kraken? Is it coming at me? Yeah, you think? You got a 13-13 that's going to be a 26-26. Yeah, it's coming at you. Well, then I'm going to tap down Archaic to tap him down so that you can make another fish. All right, fine. Made a fish. I'm going to go ahead and go to combat. And I'm going to swing the fish at you and Kazor at you, punk. You're leaving him alive? Yeah, of course I am, because he might just keep milling me, because this is probably funny to him, because he knows that I'm just trying to worry about that. But it's like, why not? I'm not going to kill him. That's going to beef that up. I got one turn where those things don't come at me. Might as well try and, parlay this stuff as much as I can. So yeah, I'm going to take the 1 unblockable. Sure thing. And I'm at 45, so screw it. I'll take the 4 commander damage. What do I care? Right? But he did damage, so he goes up. And that did damage, so it goes up. And that's kind of all we can hope for at that point. We're going to pass turn. Now, did we make an ally by not finishing off Mill? Or did we just doom ourselves? Okay, well, I drew a card, first of all. So that means I'm going to draw, I drew a card, so target player has to mill 4, and if 2 of the colors match, they do it again. Now, the funny thing would be to hit him, but again, there's no way that Legendaries is not going to kill me on my turn. Simply because they want that thing to be a 26-26 in the air. So yeah, I'm going to do it on you. Why not? Because it's funny. So we're going to mill. We're going to mill colorless. Land, doesn't count. Colorless. And, ooh, Path to Exile. But, yep. Swing and a miss, as it were. I believe, maybe? I'm wondering, I can't remember. You know what? I can't remember if the lands count. I know lands are technically colorless. Like, they're not supposed to have color, but I don't know if that, I'm pretty sure that they don't count. I think if you hit a bunch of lands, it's a whiff. Artifacts, it's a whiff. You really need the actual colored symbols in the Magic cards, I believe. But let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and tap this for 3, making it 6, mill 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then one last Defiance, right? Because Aetherflux Reservoir, not going to matter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Draw 1 more card, discard a card. Oh man, that would have been fun. We'll discard Aetherflux Reservoir and keep the Rune Crab, but it's not going to matter. So you over there, do the thing again. Julie, do the thing. 1, colorless. 2, white. Land. Man. That combo is really bad against multicolored decks, obviously. But there are cards in here that help turn everyone's cards into blue so that it automatically works. And like you just mill your entire deck right after another. So it's really fun when you get that out. But I'm going to go ahead and tap 1 to play Rune Crab for the fun of playing Rune Crab. Plus I love that full art look. So we're going to go ahead and pass turn. Now over here, he's getting a grudge. He's like, come on, that was unnecessary. You should have milled him. Ooh, can I do this? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to tap for a green and a blue. So it's going to be 1 blue floating. Then we're going to tap all these for the other proper colors. So green, green, black, 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 white, white. 4, that's right. Eerie Ultimatum. Return any number of permanent cards with different names from your graveyard to the battlefield. Boo-sha. Oops, shoot. Gosh darn it. What was that, 41, right? Because I took the hit down from the 4 or something. Yes, that's what it was. So, any number of permanent cards. So that's actually lands as well. But we're going to put Norn's Annex out. Chromatic Lantern. Mirri Weatherlight Duelist. Esky God of the Tree. Thran Dynamo. Path to Exile doesn't count. That's the thing. Artifact, land, artifact ramp. That's an instant. Artifact, artifact, land. Land, that's sorcery. Land, land, land. So holy crap, guys. That changes everything. Like, quite a bit. Well, I mean, I guess not that quite a bit, but sure. So players can't activate Planeswalkers at the beginning of your draw step. Draw an additional card. All my creatures get +1/+1. And spells I cast cost 1 less colors to cast. Sick. So, and we got a whole crap ton of mana. So like I said, I do believe the lands count as permanent, so they go on as well. So we got pretty much everything we need to just... Well, wait a second. Any number of permanent cards with different names from your graveyard to the battlefield. Does that count the lands? I mean, they are permanents. Lands are permanents. So, like, Command Tower would work. Temple of the False Gods. Frontier. We don't have a forest yet. We don't have a plains. Rakdos. We do have an island, so I guess that doesn't work. Sandstep. We do have a mountain. Simic Growth Chamber, which would bounce, a swamp back to my hand. And Evolving Wilds, which we could crack and tack and blah, blah, who cares? So. Yep, you may spend mana as though it was mana of any color. So now, even my artifacts tap for anything I want them to tap for, just like the lands. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to tap 5 of that. For Heroes Podium, each legendary creature you control gets +1/+1 for each other legendary creature you control. Tapping that for whatever, and then 1, what was that? 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to play Mirari's Wake, which creatures you control get +1/+1 whenever you tap a land for mana. Add 1 of any that land produced. Holy crap. So that means this is like 2. These are, we'll just say these aren't there. That's in the graveyard. We'll just put Evolving Wilds in the graveyard and pretend this swamp was what I went and got. Who cares? At this point, it's game. It's game. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've got 11 mana. So I can play Nyxlis, Unshackled, and Cabal, Console of Allocation. Flying Trample, whenever opponent searches library, blah, blah, it's kind of irrelevant at this point. Now, wait. Do I have anything, since I've been playing stupid this whole game? I have 1 open mana. Unfortunately, there is no 1 mana drop counterspell, and certainly not in these colors. So yeah. Unblockable's punching Brewback in the face going, why the heck didn't you attack him first? So this is hilarious. Now, these ones don't have haste, so that is still a thing. But, let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not a creature yet, so 7. Like, well, wait a second, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So each creature is getting +6/+6 because it's each other legendary creature. So we're going to pretend that's the one we're counting off of. So yeah, everyone's getting +6/+6. So +7/+7, +8/+8. I don't think there's any more buffs. So +8/+8, +9, 10. So everything's getting +10/+10. Yeah, that's just a big whole game set and match. So we'll swing the board. With guard, unbound, going at you in the air for 13. You've got 5 life. Everybody else on the ground going through. They don't have trample, but they are 10/10s. Well, more than that. 13/13 and a 14/14. And this is a 17/17 in the air. Commander damage is already 10. That's 27 commander damage. Boom! Squish! Squish! there you have it, folks. Your winner of match 2, Legendaries. That's kind of what Legendaries is supposed to do. Although it's supposed to do it faster than that, because I'm sure we're already well over an hour at the game time, probably an hour and a half for all I know. But still, that was a fun win. You know, this was still kind of could have been anything. He started to go, once the commander got big and we unbound the blade, that was pretty much game. But still, like, the unblockables could have gotten through with enough damage over time. But you love seeing a board state like that. I'm going to have to go and take some time and look up and make sure I was right about the lands, because that would have, of course, affected things. But that would have dropped things down quite a bit, because these would have come in. These 2 creatures would not have, along with some of these, like Mirari's Wake and stuff. But, well, let's do the math. Real quick. Let's think it out. Let's say they didn't come in, right? So that means everything would have been getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Because we played that. This was off of the ultimatum, correct? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So everything would have been getting plus 6. That's 13 in the air. Still would have worked. Still would have been enough. Even if I'm wrong, maybe if, like, let's take these 2 off. Because these definitely came in off of the ultimatum. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 and 4 is 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 damage is literally 21 commander damage. So it still worked even if I was wrong about lands coming in off of that Eerie Ultimatum effect, which I will go look up now for verification's sake and future knowledge. All right, this was really fun, especially at the end. It was a bit slow, which, again, what I'm trying to figure out and learn from. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. I hope you learned from my horrible misplays, because this game was very bad in that sense. I was missing triggers and missing plays left and right. I don't know if I was trying to go too fast, because I'm trying to keep these things down to like an hour and like 15 would be like a sweet spot I'd like to have them all at. I know one of them's already an hour and 45. No one's going to watch that. You know, it was slogged for me too. So, but then again, I played it, so it was kind of like doing it twice. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned from my mistakes and you get better as a player. And I'll see you next time on the Unskilled Commander.